Head football coach at St. Xavier High School out of Cincinnati, Ohio. I've been involved in USA football since its inception back in 2007. Been very blessed to be a part of the organization. Had the opportunity to serve as a defensive coordinator on the 2009 first US team. Was coached by Chuck Kyle, who's a legend in Ohio high school football. Chuck was the head coach, gave me a wonderful opportunity. I've been with USA football ever since. I served for 3 years on the board of directors, which was very enlightening. I think obviously you've heard a lot of coaches talk about how our game's coming under attack. Well, I'm going to talk about communism in football, the RPO, right? They cheat. They cheat. RPOs, run pass option. That's why we're running them now, right? But I've been involved in this for a long time. I appreciate what you guys do. I'm very blessed to be a part of the game of football. Just listening to Coach Tomlin talk, you were up and listening to him and that didn't drive you and get you excited about the future of this game, I don't know what will. Concussions, it's real quick. I'm going to tell you something that a coach told me a couple years ago, and I've used it with my parent in my parent meetings ever since. You know, they talk about concussions being the reason numbers are down. No, they're not. The reason numbers are down is what we do is hard, and this world has gotten soft. Kids are soft today. It's just the way it is. They don't like to get up at 5 in the morning to come and work out. They don't like to put on 60 pounds of equipment when it's 100 degrees on. They want to go play team sports that they can play games. They don't have to work out all off season. But what was interesting was Coach told me something I used with my parents, and a parent asked me a question at one of our parent meetings. Says, you know, they want the concussion-proof helmet and all that craziness that doesn't exist. But they started talking about, when's the right time to let our son play? You know, we're worried about the concussion thing. I looked down and I said, you know what? You guys should thank us. Everybody in the country should thank football because of the strides that we've made to learning more about the human brain. Because of us, because of the game of football, we have helped tremendously in the study of concussion awareness. Nobody can say anything different about that. It drives me crazy. And a coach was talking to me about this years ago. I've used it ever since. You really look at it. Because we own a day of the week. You know, they don't care that by percentages, girls soccer, girls basketball have more concussions than football. They don't own a day of the week, right? But we have done more to advance the study of neurology. Chris knows my girlfriend she teaches neurology, neuroscience. She talks about the advancements made because of football. But anyway, I threw that out. I get a little upset about that when I think about it. We're going to talk about defending the RPO. Look, I find out every year how little I know about this game going to conferences and listening to other coaches like yourselves talk. You know, that's a great thing about it. Can't remember what coach it was that said, if you don't keep up with this game, it kicks your ass. You've got to study. You've got to go find out the new trends. So everything that we do, we have taken from really good people. So I'm going to just walk through what we have done. You know, the old adage, big people beat up little people. Everything we're going to talk about, if you have bigger people than me, you're probably going to beat me up. All right? We're going to lose. But in theory, everything I'm going to talk about today is what we've studied, what we've learned, and how we apply it. The older I get, the more I become about the educational process in coaching. I want to be a good teacher. I want to have building blocks kids get better at. So when I go through this today, I think you'll understand what I'm talking about. My email's up here. As you're taking notes, I'll send this to you. Just email me. We have no secrets. First clinic I attended was 30 years ago, 1989. Tommy Tuberville was the defensive coordinator at the U. I listened to him and I went up and went behind ears and I was asking him a million questions and he answered them all. And that's one thing I also love about our profession is how much we all give back. And I've stolen, what defense do we run? Well, technically you're going to see an odd stack. But the reality is I run the coast-to-coast defense. Because I've stolen more crap from the East Coast to the West Coast than anybody else in the country. And that's what we do. All right, we're going to talk about defending the RPO, the run-pass options. All right. What is the RPO? Obviously, we all know it. It's like triple option. It's designed to give the quarterback an out. He's going to find an out. And listening to Alex Golish talk kind of confirms the thought process that I'm going to talk about today. Okay, from our experience, we're going to see two types. You may see more. The first one is a lot what Alex talked. It's a leverage-based run-pass option. They're going to look at the leverage of the defender. If they have access, they're going to take the quick game. Right? So that's the one. The second type is move key based, where the quarterback's read is going to depend on the movement of whoever that move key is. Right? So that's what we're generally going to look at how we defend this. Leverage based, move key based. So as we move through, our thought process follows these four ideas. Number one, we're going to stop the run. We want to control the box. So one thing, we want to control the box. We want to have 6+ defenders in the box at all time, eliminating the running threat. That's the first thought. Again, this is all in theory. The second, we've got to play man coverage, some version of man coverage, and let the 6-man box sit heavy on run. So right now we go into a game, the thought process, 6 in the box. Obviously, if they're spread, we're in 6-man box. If they bring in an H-back, we'll be in a 7-man box. We want to be +1, is the theory. We want to be able to let those guys sit on the run and apply pressure quickly. The third thought process, we want to eliminate the leverage-based RPO. We want to play tighter coverage. We want to play maybe a combo coverage. Maybe we want to press somebody on a key receiver or a go-to player. If you're giving us a lot of bubble and your key guy is number 3 that's running the bubble, maybe we want to eliminate him. So this is just, again, the thought process. And finally, 4, we're going to maintain our gap fits while maintaining the 6-man box. And this is a big one. We're going to eliminate the conflict player by mixing and matching the man coverage concept. Okay? So we're going to build off of this. I think the last phase for us, and it's the phase we're really diving into this year, is mixing the man concept, giving different looks, dropping different guys into the box, removing guys from the box. That's the thought. Any questions so far? All right, let's move on. Okay, maintaining 6-man box. As I said before, we are an odd stack. However, we have stolen some of these ideas from even front teams. I don't care if you're a 4-2-5, you're a 3-4. The thought is we've got to keep 6 in the box. So for us, we've got to gap out. As we talked about this, you get a 6-man box, we've got to gap out, we have to eliminate the Q read, and we've got to gap the rest of the guys out. So no matter what we do, no matter what kind of pressure we bring, no matter what the defense is, no matter what kind of man coverage, we've got to gap out. We have to make sure we have +1 to take care of the run. Now I can show you how we add a bonus run defender if necessary a little, but this is for us very important. I don't care, again, if you're a 4-2-5, if you're a 3-4, you can get to these gap fits with that 6-man box and still maintain man coverage. All right. So let's talk about 3-by-1 sets. The first thing. What do we want to do? First, maintain box integrity. How are we going to get to that 6-man look in some way, shape, or form? From a man coverage principle, for us, it's very basic. We number outside in. I listen to Coach Pruitt go strength all the way across the board. We go outside in, number all the receivers, 1, 2, 3. So corners are responsible for 1. Our strong safeties are going to man up on 2. Our middle safety is going to take 3, which leaves our weak side safety as what we call our control player. He's our bonus guy. We can control what he does to help with run support, to help with pass. So what are we going to do with him? Oh, I'm sorry, let's go back here. We do a lot of different things. Let's go first, though, let's talk about 2-by-2. They shift across, go 2-by-2. Now our high safeties will switch. Weak safety now will cover man number 2, and our middle safety will be our bonus game plan safety. So this is, again, the building blocks for this. This is how we're going to start with our man coverage principles. So let's walk through it. Leverage-based RPOs. They want green grass. They want to have spacing. How are we going to take care of this? We're going to go bump coverage on the perimeter with the corners. I was listening to Coach Pruitt talk, and he was talking about how much they press into the boundary and how they play off to the field. We've seen a lot of slip screen. We've seen a lot of spot to the field with number one, a lot of smoke routes, so we started pressing both sides. Keep in mind, our number one objective defensively is to find two lockdown corners. Everybody, every skill guy in our program is a corner until we find those two, because we want to turn it into a 9-on-9 game. So we're going to find our two best cover corners, no matter who they are. That's where we start. They can play both ways if we need them to as a receiver. But I can tell you right now, if our best receiver is our best cover corner, he will be I'm a defensive guy though. Right? So I started with RPOs are communism. I'm a defensive guy. I'm going to put our best athletes at corner. So we're going to play a little bump coverage, eliminate that quick game, and we're going to tighten the safeties down. Tighten them down to roughly 5 yards. It'll be a movement deal. And then we identify the game plan for the weak side safety. What are we going to do with him? We could play him in center field. We could, if we need to, double team a key receiver. We want to play clench, play him over the top of number one, give help to that corner. So we will move him around based on game plan, but we will still maintain that man coverage principle. And finally, weak safety can be added run support. We can drop him into a box. We can take away that quick slant backside to help number one if we need to. I guess the point I'm making is you have options. We want to have options. We don't want to play on game day. We don't want to have to make a million adjustments on the fly. We want to have the adjustments predetermined so we can practice the adjustments and get involved in the game. Question I am always asked is, what do you do with number one? Or what do you do with number two in the backfield, the running back? That six-man box is going to take care of the running back, man. Play action zone, he will be tackled. We are going to tackle that back. We're not going to let him escape. All right. So here's what we're going to look like. This is what it should look like across the board. You see the six-man box intact, and you see us leveraging down. You see us leveraging down on the corners, playing bump man, and we're walking both the safeties down, and we have a bonus safety down on the hash. This is what this should look like. I'm going to have to change something real quick so I can see a duplicate here. All right, you guys still see that? All right, so what should this look like? All right, so right now, by virtue of our alignment, we have eliminated the corners, right? The leverage base is dead. Right now, this should help to eliminate any kind of quick game. I did run this through just so we could see. Thought it runs that little, just a little, and they've been running this almost like the shin the coach was talking about to try to pull our safety wide. We're going to go ahead and clip them inside out and get a little rub concept going. We do a nice job of working that upside and out over the top. Now the box, we're maintaining box integrity. We've got a six-man box here. We're going to bring a blitz package. Obviously, we want to eliminate, that's another step for us, is if we can bring some kind of five-man game and gap out, it puts more pressure on that quarterback to get rid of the ball a little bit quicker. But the theory for us, again, is maintain the box, maintain a six-man box to stop the run, and then play a little more man coverage to get rid of leverage-based, the leverage-based RPO. So that's the first thought process. Okay, 2x2 sets, we're going to do the same deal. We're going to tighten that weak safety down in the box. It's going to give us more of, whether you want to call it a 3-5 look, that's okay. We're going to identify the game plan for our middle safety as our adjuster. He may double team the designated wide receivers to the left. He could do it to the right. Or as we discussed with the weak side safety before, he can be added run support in the box, negate any kind of quick slants from either side. Big eyes. So again, we're trying to build this puzzle before we get into the season. The options are already made. So once again, you get a little 2x2 set. We see a lot of this from Elder High School in Cincinnati, and a lot of this from St. Ignatius, and Chuck Kyle Nick Restifo was in here before, does a great job with this. So again, we're maintaining a 6-man box. However, we're going to get into it, whether it's a pattern blitz, whether it's a read scheme for us, doesn't matter. Our corners are going to play bump. Try to eliminate the quick game threat. Try to force the quarterback to throw the ball over the top. We've got 2 safeties that should be leveraging down man. Obviously, with an H-back, we can play a little more loose because there's no immediate threat than there is with space. Then we have a bonus player in the middle of the field. Even in this situation, see, the quarterback is checking to a fade. Good, he can throw a fade all day long. It's a low percentage pass. We can adjust. If we need to, we can work our bonus player over the top to give him help to the boundary, or if they have a receiver we want to negate. But again, we want to take away the run first. All right, so there's first thought process. 3x1 again. You can see our alignment. Played a little loose on the outside this time. We can play some bail, some loose man. You're going to see here they'll come underneath. And the reason I'm playing this, I want to show you, which will lead to an adjustment. You see they run bubble here. We press it right now with number 3, and then go ahead and run a slant behind it, or a little delayed slant behind it. It's a nice little scheme. So we will adjust to this. Again, the theory is to play some kind of man coverage, whether it's bump or loose, and have adjustments for this. So that's how we're going to start. All right, that's how we're going to start. Let's talk about options. We can go with a switch tag, and we're going to go ahead and switch inside-outside leverage. Still man premise. So all of a sudden, we've been playing that man. You saw our safety jumping the bubble hard inside out. You saw they brought that delayed slant underneath inside of him. We knew that could be an issue. We wanted an answer. What could the answer for that be? Let's go play inside-outside threat. It's a lot easier, obviously, when you get a bunch set. You get receivers that are bunched in trips. We're going to play inside-outside intermediate. But in this case, one of our options is to go ahead and have the 2 inside safeties take outside threat and first inside threat. The man premise still remains. We still have a safety that can play inside middle third, and he can also help coming down. So let's see right now. You look up top to the twins. We're going to play an inside-outside combo with these 2 right here. So he jumps it, as you see. I love Raj. He's in great leverage. He just misses. So this is the same team that ran the bubble delayed slant. They were running that vertical with the shin route coming right up off his tail. So we just play inside out. As you can see, we jump try to pause this. They switch off. Number 2 ends up taking 3, and we drive on that under route. It's just a switch. We've got a safety in center field. We're playing bump man with both the corners. Once again, let it run through. Option. Again, we want to have our adjustments made before we get into the game. We usually have 3, 4 adjustments. If we have to get to number 5, then we're gonna lose anyway. It doesn't really matter. All right, here's another issue. We get a bunch look. So we're going to play loose man on the corners. We're going to play 2 for 2. Anytime we see this, we're going to play one guy we'll take the outside threat, inside threat. Here's my bonus player. Outside threat, inside threat. Here's my bonus player. So in this situation, on this play, we're going to keep him in the box. Ignatius does a great job. They've got a big offensive front. They do a great job of running split zone. So we wanted to get a safety down in the box to help out with a cube pull off of this. Any kind of split zone coming back. So he's going to work down in the box and be a bonus player. So technically we'll be in 0 coverage here. So we get a shallow cross. We're playing a little too loose. He should be jumping that a little bit quicker. But the quarterback's not going to see the bonus safety underneath. To give you an idea, again, it starts with a man principle. So getting back to it, whether we want that backside safety, our bonus safety to play center field or to work down in the box and use his eyes, it's an option. It's something we can move to against RPO teams. And then the inside-outside threat, you can see just our 7-man in the box drops late. A little confused. But again, options. Options for us to help us defend the zone read. Here's the same look. Same look here, twins. So we're going to bring a backer off the edge. We're going to play inside-outside, and we're real late. Again, you can see right now we get a crossing route. Boom, he hits. Releases late. We're a little bit slow with the safety. He's playing a little bit too high. He's got to drive faster on that. But you can see how the bonus safety is going to work to take it away. So our box is still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Since they have the H back, we brought the 7th into the game. I've got a bonus safety down in the box as well. Got away with one. All right. Any questions about the man concepts? So that's the first phase for us. The second phase, step 2, is do they have that key player we have to eliminate? That's the next phase for us. They've got somebody we want to take out of the game, and we're going to work with him. We will get rid of our middle safety, our adjuster, replace him with what we call our nickelback. So we're going to give the same illusion of 3-3-5. The only difference now is that nickelback is going to be our rat cover player. He's going to play bump man on whomever the rat is. So like I said, we get somebody that has a dynamic slot that can hurt you with bubbles, some kind of bubble under. We're going to eliminate him by playing bump man coverage. We're going to eliminate the leverage base and really just try to take him out of the game. So he may line up as 3, he may line up as 2. They like to move him around, and we play against a lot of great, really well-coached teams. They're going to move that guy around. We want an answer. He might line up isolated backside. Wherever he goes, we call him the rat. And we go into rat coverage, which is still a man's concept for us. Our coverage then is always going to rotate to the passing strength. To give you an idea, no matter where we go with the rat, the coverage has to rotate to the passing strength. So in our system, we're going to be playing a pattern match concept with a seam player, a hole player, and a center field player. Right. We need to know where the rat aligns. He is no longer in the count. Tell the kids that. He is no longer a numbered receiver. So if he's number 1 backside, that corner knows he doesn't have to worry about playing bump man or loose man on him. Is really the theory behind it. All right. We'll have a hole player. So right now, what does it look like we're going to get to that front side? What I don't like about using a backer in man coverage is it's a mismatch, right? We take our backer on a slot. My backer runs a 4.840 and that slot runs a 4.540. We have a mismatch. So right away, we're automatically going to be in a switch concept. That backer will take the inside threat. The safety's going to take the outside threat. Does that make sense? All right. If we align front side, we eliminate number 2. The seam player will adjust accordingly. All we've done is eliminated leverage. We've eliminated leverage and we've accounted for the other receivers. Everybody clear on that? The box player stays intact in that situation. All right, let's take a look at it. So what we want to do, we've identified number 3 as the rat. So we're going to go ahead and press it. We're going to eliminate that threat right away. He's gone. They're going to be forced to run the ball or throw the ball backside. Now, do I care if they throw the ball backside? No. Why? Because our adjustment was to eliminate their best player out of this RPO. So let's take a look and see what we get. Back here. This again. You see him press it automatically on 3, takes away, the leverage takes it away. 6-man box is intact, we're in good shape. So again, we keep the box intact, we get rid of the rat right here. Forced to run, we're able to play that zone read. Take a look at another way here. Again, the rat's number 3. It's going to line up in the slot, we're going to press it. Man, we're going to play man here, man up top. 6-man box is intact. I have my bonus safety backside. Once again, force him to run the ball. Eliminate him, force him to run the ball. We think our 6 are better than their 5.
Coach, do you ever switch that inside-outside responsibility, or is he man no matter what?
Right now,
Your rat guy, is he man no matter what?
he's man all the time. Once we call rat coach, he's going to be bump man on whoever the designated rat player is. The theory behind it really is we're taking away the quick game right away. If he's that dynamic, we may double over the top, which we'll do a lot with that rat, is take our bonus player and put him over the top. If the quarterback is an exceptional runner, the bonus player may be responsible for quarterback all day long. Now, you can do whatever you want with it. That's game plan for you.
Coach, when you want to play with this rat technique, do you tag it with a call, or do you ever have an option to check into it? What is your school philosophy?
If we call it, rat's a coverage for us. Sorry about that. Rat's a coverage for us, so we're going to be in man. Coach, it's going to be a man-free scenario, or it's going to be a man bonus safety down in the box, whatever we predetermine. Now, we can adjust that during the game. If you have a quarterback starts hurting us, the first adjustment, we're going to take our bonus player and say, hey, rat coverage, you're going to be on quarterback automatically. But in the game, it's a man principle. When we call rat, they don't number him. So if he lined up again, if he lines up, if he's the rat's number 2, my rat cover, my nickel safety will be up on him pressed. Now my safety has to move the 2. They just have to know he is no longer in the numbering system. Good question. So once again, we keep the box intact. 4-man box, I don't care how you get there. I don't care if you're an even or an odd front, as I said before. We want to force them to do anything but give the ball to that guy. Here's a situation where you'll notice they like to run a lot of quick slant. Josh Wiley up top is at the University of Cincinnati. He's a big 6'7" athlete. He's not exceptionally fast, but again, what do we want to do with this? We want to rat him. So we take that nickel, comes all the way over. He's no longer numbered. These guys have to count. Who do we have to account for? Here, here, here. He's going to have to displace. My backer's going to have to displace to go with 3, or I'm going to have to take my bonus safety and put him on 3. So we can maintain the man principle.
You do the boundary corner, Coach.
Game plan. Game plan. A lot of the times, if we're ratting backside, he's going to help over the top. He will enable us to leave as I go through this, again, this is the last phase for us, but right now, if I'm going to displace this backer, This backer is either going to have to be worried about covering 3-man, which I don't like, because it's a mismatch, so I want to go with a switch call. That would be game plan. Or I can go ahead and bring him back in the box, drop the bonus safety down, play man, and bring that weak side corner all the way to center field, if we wanted to do it that way. Again, this is a puzzle. We're building this puzzle. So how you want to do it, the whole theory for us is we've got to maintain man concept, and we have to try to get rid of the leverage, right? That's the whole theory behind it. There's a lot of ways to do it. What we're going to do is, you'll see, we're completely eliminating. We don't want them to throw up top. They force run. They've got 5 to block our 6-man box. And also, you're going to watch film and you're going to know how good they are up front versus how good you are. Yeah, Coach.
Coach, the bonus player in that scenario, you would switch that, you said, the linebacker.
What?
He'd take whatever route came inside between 2 and 3.
In theory, right now, we're going to go ahead and switch these two.
Right.
Backer will take inside threat, knowing he has help over the top. Yeah, knowing he has help over the top here. I'm never going to bring my bonus safety down in the box and leave him to cover 3 on a vertical seam. Never going to happen for us. That'll be a touchdown. So we're going to coach to the least common denominator. There's a reason he's in the box most of the time. Good question, Coach. All right, here you go again. You can see us isolated at the very bottom here. Our rat player is at the bottom. So we have to displace up top. Again, he knows right now that he has to be a cover guy. Doesn't matter what happens up front. He has to slow play, but he doesn't have to worry about a vertical because we're going to give him help over the top. Knows that going into it. So another thought process that goes here. As you look at this, theoretically, we've got a 5-man box, correct? We had to make a conscious decision that this eliminating him was more important because we didn't think they were very good up front. All right? That's another step to this. We think we're better. If our 5 can defeat their 5, then we'll go ahead and displace more. Again, this isn't the principles we're trying to talk about today is how are we trying to defend this RPO stuff. All right. Once again, let's take a look. Here's a 2x2 set. So you're going to see right now, he lined up over here on number 2, so we're going to go ahead and take him away. Still bump corner. They can throw to this cat all day long. If they beat me with him, I'm going to be able to sleep at night, right? It's like, don't let them beat you with the guy that's been killing everybody down here. So box is intact. We've eliminated that. They've had the throwback side. I'm okay with that. We'll just have to drive on it, just like we do here. You can see our safety's probably shadowing. We're probably going to shadow over the top here, which is why they're giving so much ground to the field. Safety makes a hell of a tackle there on the slant. Once again, we've eliminated the run threat by having +1 in the box on them. We've taken away the number 1 threat, forced them to go somewhere else. We can live with that. All right, and finally, let's see if
I got a question, Coach.
Yes.
What kind of scheme do you have set up in case they try to release the running back out to the, swing out to the side?
Anytime we play a man coverage deal, Coach, we will peel and go to pitch on any swing. So if we get speed option, the edge rusher, whoever is the edge rusher in the schematic, will peel on the back. So if they run speed option, he's going right now. That's how we try to account for the running back. If he comes inside off of an RPO, we're going to tackle him. Those guys are going to press the line and go. They're gapped out, or at least they should be. If he swings, it's either going to be speed option or some kind of flare, so whoever our edge player is will peel on him automatically, if that makes sense. So I'll run this back here in this scenario. And I think there's a couple here later that I'll show you where they actually do throw a swing, how we rally to it. So right now, if that back was on a swing, the end here and the end here would be the edge player. They would have to jump him right now. If I were bringing a backer on attack force off the edge, he would peel on it. So whatever your call is, whoever is the edge player has to peel on that swing anytime we're in man coverage. Good question.
Would your rat run with a motion?
Always. Yeah, always.
So Coach, you talking about that, let's say the back's in the sidecar, if you don't mind going back to the very beginning, and they take that back like in that orbit motion real quick,
Mhm.
kind of that T-fly motion.
Yep.
That peel rule still applies?
Are they going empty on us?
Yeah, you know what I mean? So like they're 2x2 and they take that back out and they're trying to out leverage you there?
No, if they're gonna buzz motion or whatever you call it to an empty trip set, we're taking that backer and he's gonna man up.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Coach.
Coach, will you stay in rat coverage, knowing that there's an athletic quarterback that could hurt you in the box on quarterback wrong?
Absolutely. We'll take a bonus. We'll play more zero coverage and bring that bonus safety down in the box. Depending on where the rat is lining up, you know, if he lines up as isolated number one to the boundary, we'll leave that corner to shadow him. So we can play a shadow. I'm going to get a little bit off, but we can play a shadow coverage where we're going to say whoever is the free player is going to shadow the rat. So now we're going to have man bump coverage on him and a shadow over the top of him. It's a zero coverage now. So if he's number one there, that corner is going to shadow him. That leaves that free safety. Our bonus guy to sit down in the box on the quarterback. They motion him all the way across, rattle, chase. Now that corner has to play man. We'll shadow over the top. The backer can work back inside. If I could I'd draw it up for you, but that's the thought process. We can go rat or shadow. Any other questions so far? All right.
You ever play a green concept at rap? So like you see you zone or number, you play green concept 1 and 2.
We're always going to play a read to the away from the rack. Anytime a backer is in the concept, he's going to go ahead and play that inside-outside leverage concept. Does that make sense?
I was talking about like your safety in the corner, other than the rap.
Yeah, we can play games with those two. One can work down in the box, the other one to center field, one can shadow, one can play center field. It all depends. That's all game playing. All right, finally, now this is the step to the puzzle for us that we're really trying to get better at. We're not very good at this, but we're trying to get better at. We're trying to disguise where the sixth man is coming from. That's the next phase for us. So as I walk through this, I want you to keep in mind, we feel really good about how we're defending RPOs with this man coverage concept. The kids are good at it. They can play it fast. Well, now we want to go into the next phase, and this is trying to disguise everything. We still want to keep the same philosophy involved with the man coverage and the 6+ in the box. We just want to disguise who those guys are. So as we go through this, let's talk about it. All right, so let's say we're talking about 3x1 sets. We can have the jet man number 3, as we were talking about, and have that safety over the top as a bonus safety. Right? This is one of the change-ups. We already showed it a little bit with our racks concept, where that jet backer has to work to number 3 and play a man concept. Now the weak safety in this scenario would be our 6th man in the box. Does everybody see that? And again, this is when we're trying to teach the kids. As I said earlier, as I get older, I'm really trying to focus on the teaching process. We want the kids to visualize this. So when I get the kids in the classroom, we're doing this in the off season, I want them to see, look, if we are going to have the jet backer man up number 3 or play that inside-outside leverage, who's the bonus guy? Who's the 6th man in the box? Oh, weak safety is good, good. I want them to see it. I don't want to waste it. We don't have spring ball in Ohio. So we have to utilize everything, unless you're cheating, Coach, right? Just checking. We want to get that, we want to do as much as we can in the classroom, and we want them to see it. We want them to visualize it. So now if I'm going to do something like this, I've got to get that weak safety involved in the run fit in some way, shape, or form. Again, the coaching point. This is a mismatch with our backer on number 3. For the most part, this is going to be a mismatch, so we want to play inside-outside leverage, which means that adjuster has to help over the top. Our middle safety has to help over the top. So we play that automatic switch. Again, these are just the thought process. So let's say backside we have number 2. Well, now that weak safety is working down, maybe we have the adjuster as the inside run fit. Maybe this will backer displaces, and now the adjuster is truly involved in the run fit. We can do a lot of different things on that. So let's go through disguising, some options here. So let's say we want to run one of our blitz packages based on states. All right, everything we do with our pattern blitzes, it's a different state. So Oregon for us is going to bring a little twist game up front. So again, I'm going to try to choke the edges. So I'm going to bring a backer hard off the edge, a backer hard off the edge. I'm going to twist the nose in the end some way, and that Mike needs to know what gap he's going to fit up. The coverage now behind it, there's our main concept, right? There's my bonus play. So what does it look like? It looks like this. Again, I have to try to disguise what we're doing. I want it to make it look like we have a 5-man box. I want to entice the offense to run the ball against a 5-man box, right? But I need to pull somebody in. So this is what we're not very good at. So everything that we're going through right now, we go through with the kids. And we coach them. Okay, right now, how many are in the box? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They should probably try to run the ball on us, guys, right? Yes, so this is a good disguise. Maybe we're in a 2-deep look. Maybe we talk to the corners. What else can we do out of this? We can play bump man, coach. Maybe they think it's two men. Yes, good. Again, this is teaching, the teaching process behind all this. There's that 5-man box we talked about. Displacement changes the quarterback's thought process. We want the defensive kids to understand why we're doing this. So what does it look like? Okay, we're good, but you can see we're running that Oregon stunt doesn't change. We play this clip. Might ask his safety, what do you think? What could we have done better here? Coach, why doesn't he come down and tighten his coverage a little bit quicker? Okay, that's one thing we might be able to do. Do we think he disguises it well? Maybe they say, yeah, he disguises it well. I think he does a real good job of disguising it. So once again, we're playing high, we move late, we twist. Why does he throw backside, guys? This is a question I would ask my kids. If you heard Coach Golish talk before, why does he throw backside? Yeah, he's got leverage. It's the same crap. You go and listen to anybody talk about RPOs. They're looking for leverage. So right away, I should hear my corners saying what in the meeting? What should we do, guys? Hey, coach, could we bump? Yes, that's great, good. Kids learn this way. This is when they can see it. Guys, it makes our job much easier. We still do a nice job of driving on the ball. Thank God he drops it, which is a good thing. But again, we're talking about disguise. How can we disguise what we're going to do here? All right, so let's take another option here. So let's say we want to run a different blitz. We want to bring our Missouri concept, which is simply twisting the end around, and we're going to have the wheel sitting backside. So it's more of an overload front side. It's a good run blitz. What's the coverage have to look like? There's the main concept. Here's our bonus play. So you can see in the coverage here, we call Missouri cover 0. I can tell you right now, our bonus player knows that he is in the box, and we have designated what his assignment is. He's either on the quarterback, maybe we need a bonus guy on the running back, maybe he's going to help take away slant and help with run, but he knows 0 coverage tells him that. If we called Missouri cover 1, he's going to know he's a center field safety. It gave us an option. So I tell him right now, Missouri cover 1, bonus player, where's my weak safety? What are you doing? He says, Coach, I'm game plan. I'm going to be in the box. I'm going to be on. Good, perfect. Good stuff. What if we call cover one? I'm going to be in center field. Good, perfect. Coaching them up, man. We're coaching them up. So once again, let's try to disguise it. So let's look, what do we look like at the snap? Okay, he's displaced a little bit. We're giving a little bit different look. We walk the backer up because we're going to loop the end behind him. That's fine. We might even tell this backer we want to displace him a little bit and cheat him in a little bit more. So once again, we're going to talk about this in the meeting. Guys, what do we like about this disguise right now? What don't we like? Well, I like the fact that our jet backer is displaced, so he might think he's off. Good. Let's see what we end up with. Should start cheating down. We're moving a little bit early. There's bubble. We press. Once again, since we are safety on, we can play man with these guys. We can switch with them, or we can play man with them. Playing loose here. We're still giving up ground. Well, Wiles got beat earlier in the game, so he asked if he could play loose a little bit. We said, yeah, until you get beat loose. Again, forces by pre-snap, and I'd have to ask, if I asked Chuck or even Nick would tell me, you know, Steve, this is what we were thinking you're bringing good. We're going to run some kind of stretch to the away from the stunt. Good. Well, we're going to have backer that fits right up. We gap out. It's a hell of a job. I've got a safety now that could be a zero safety down in the box on additional run support. You don't see him bailing a whole lot, so it looked like he was told to track. Okay, let's talk about some other disguises. We do the same thing with a different blitz concept. We could call Iowa cover one. So as we talked before, now we're going to do an opposite twist here, and we're going to bring the adjuster down, play man. He's our bonus player here in cover one. So he knows he has to play center field. So what are we going to get out of this? Again, what's the look? Kind of a 2x2. Coach, you asked about motion before. There's a few ways we can run this. We can bump, chase, or we can bump across the board. What we found is our guys would get so locked in on man coverage, we would go ahead and bump the corner and chase the safety, but we wouldn't bump the backside safety because they'd get confused. We do the same thing with rat. The rat nickel, the rat safety would run with it. So once again, we're going to bring our Iowa blitz, but the man concept stays in play. Man concept stays in play. So once again, Coach, if this back were the swing,
False start on that play, Coach?
no, shoot, they don't throw flags in our games. What we say, all officials are bad, some are better than others. No, I'm just kidding. They have a hard job. All right. Okay, let's take a look at what if I want to get a safety involved. I might want to bring that safety down. So maybe we want to give a rat look. Okay? Maybe we want to give the illusion that we're going to play rat, yet bring that safety off the edge. So again, our mascots are safety blitzes. So the Iowa Hawkeye is the same blitz, it's just a different person running it. So I'm going to bring this adjuster down. Maybe we show rat coverage. Maybe we try to disguise cover two. That's going to be our blitz. So what does that leave us in coverage? Well, we're man with the backer now. So the first thought process is we've got a mismatch, right? So I leverage inside, outside, and this bonus player better get over the top to help him out on a vertical. This is the thought process. So what do we get here? You're going to see the safety down. He's going to come hard off the edge. Luckily, they kept two in a box, so we're going to have our 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys would be in the box to account for their 6. We're going to be +1 with the blitz. You can already see we're cheating down for man. You might want to come a little bit later to disguise it. We're playing loose on the corners. I've got a center field safety. All right, in this situation, Coach, we should have had the edge player peel. So he's wrong. You can see right now. He'll see it late. You can see it in his body language. Now, I'll say right now, guys, where's the peel? They better tell me beforehand. It's like, oh crap, he just thought about it midway. I should have peeled on that. Get off, you're the edge player, peel on the back. Even if he doesn't, in this situation, are we still okay? Technically we are, because we're going to play inside-outside with the inside backer here that's out in coverage. So one of these guys will be able to rally. He's got to work over the top. Somebody should be free coming inside out. This is exactly what we get here. He does a real nice job leveraging the block over the top. Good job. Okay, we're going to disguise the box again. Now we'll run a little weak Des Moines. So cities are inside, safeties replacing. We're going to replace the inside blitz. So now, this is our 5-man pattern. Here's our 6-man in the box. He's got to know what gap to take. This is the look. So again, we're trying to disguise the RPO. Trying to disguise the RPO. Now the funny thing is, Des Moines, your kids better study their geography. Know what the hell city they're talking about, right? So Des Moines is in Iowa. It's the same pattern as Iowa. We're running it with a different person. So what does it look like for us? It's going to look like this. Right now, you're going to see us bringing the blitz backside. You see us displaced. Before you saw us displacing and coming hard off the edge. Now he's got a pattern match with these two. Inside, outside. We'll get a safety over the top to help with the vertical. But we're going to bring the pressure blitz down here. You just don't get there. And I know these aren't technically RPOs, guys, but I'm trying to give you an idea of what our thought process is. Okay, so maybe we want to change the 6-man and run what we call cowboy, a little corner blitz. So again, we're going to bring a corner blitz off the edge. We're going to overload the boundary. So where are our man guys? There it is. Now it's a weak safety that's going to be man on number 1. Front side, we've got to play inside, outside with a bonus player. Is this making sense? Again, this is the puzzle and how we're teaching and how we're fitting the puzzle as to who our 6-man box is and who the man cover guys are. So this would be cowboy for us. So you'll see us bringing it from the boundary at the bottom here. So right now we should be bump. We're man here. We're man here, but they'll play inside, outside leverage, safety over the top. The safety has to work the man on the bottom. So once again, we screw up on the peel. Backer gets a little confused and jumps man. Should have worked it opposite. So in this situation, coach, right now, as soon as the back peeled, in our theory, the corner should peel on him, and this backer should assume the blitz. That's how we'll play that. All right. That is our theory on defending the RPO. As I said when we started, we had visited so many different people that run the RPO to ask them what are some issues that you encounter. What do you struggle with? What don't? And that's how we have formulated this. So our phase now and what we're looking at, what we're studying, and if you have anything, good ideas on this, please. I'll take whatever you have. I'll steal whatever you have, and I'll let you have whatever we have. We're going to try to disguise more and more. That's the off-season focus. The other thing we're trying to do now, and I'm going to visit, I'm going to go down to Tennessee to talk to Coach Pruitt, is what they're doing with that trap corner to the 3-by-side with the bubble. Now we don't run it right now. So I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, we do this too. We don't. We have enough problems trying to figure out how to play good, solid man coverage. The next phase for us is the disguise, and then we are studying hard how he plays that trap corner to the 3-by-side. It's still a man principle, only that corner is going to become man on the bubble or on 2 vertical with that safety working over the top man on number 1. If that makes any sense to you. That's the theory. That's the phase. And if I can encourage encourage you guys to do anything, focus on the teaching. Even with our staff, our guys know I got a safety, my defensive back coach, he wants to do all this exotic crap. And I said, no, you're going to go out and you're going to study trap corner. Because that's the next phase for us. All that other stuff looks great, but we don't have the dudes to do some of the things that other guys can do. So this is what we are. We're trying to get better at it. We're trying to look at the next. So we may spend the entire offseason studying this trap corner, and we'll never run it. Because I know the guy that's going to make the decision has called me, and I'm going to get all nervous. Because the fits, the matches in the secondary aren't going to be good. We spent all offseason, well, sorry guys, it didn't work. Anyway, I will throw my email address back up here, please. You want the presentation, I'll send it to you. You want names of guys we've gone and stolen it from, I'll be happy to do that, but they're right in your backyard. And that's the cool thing. If I called Nick Restivo or Chuck Kyle today and said, Nick, can I talk to you about what you're doing? They would open the doors. Say, come on, man, let's talk shop. And it's awesome. It's what I love about this profession. And it's not like anything's new. We steal from everybody. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of the conference. Have a great week.